Hi everyone, Brian here with Vesper Meadow Education Program, and on today's episode of Outside Every Day we're going to be wildcrafting with the cedar tree. Now this activity has three parts basically. One is identifying a cedar tree, two is harvesting what we're going to use, and three is making some fun things. And today I'm going to show you how I like to make a cedar bundle and talk to you a little bit about what that is, and also about making cedar tea and steaming with cedar. Now I want to say that the cedar tree has a lot of uses to the native people of the Pacific Northwest. It has been used traditionally for all sorts of things, everything from making baskets and clothing to making transportation modes like canoes. It's been used medicinally and ceremoniously in lots of different ways. And it's also a food plant. And a lot of tribes I hear like to refer to the cedar tree as a mother tree because it provides so much for people. Now, I'll talk to you a little bit about identifying a cedar tree. This big tree behind me is a western red cedar, and its bark, you can kind of tell, goes up and down a lot compared to a lot of other plants or trees. And this is a branch of the western red cedar. Now, if this is your first time finding a cedar tree and you want a little help, it's good to take an ID book with you so that you can play around and find the differences between, say, a western red cedar and an incense cedar that has longer leaves, or between the cedars and other trees that kind of look and smell similar, like junipers. Okay, now I'm going to talk to you about harvesting. Now, whenever we want to harvest a plant from the wild, it's good to do it in a good way. And some people like to just take a moment of silence. Some people like to ask the plant's permission and listen for the answer. Some people like to leave gifts. I like to look for what I call opportunities for harvesting. So this large tree right here dropped this branch at some point in the last week or so. And so that's what I'm going to use. Now, I want to show you how I like to make a cedar bundle. One is I separate a bunch of these from the main stem. Some are small, some are big, and I choose the two biggest ones. One will be the bottom of the bundle and one will be the top. And this is an example of a finished bundle. This isn't cedar, but this is what I'm encouraging you to make out of the cedar. So you'll take your longest one, set it down, put the little ones on top of it, put the other long one on top of it, and make a bundle. And then you're going to use some string. And this part, you'll probably want to have some help from a friend. But you line up the ends, wrap the string around it, tie it tight, and then start to wind it around all the way to the end. And you can even go back the other way and make kind of a cool crisscross pattern. And it's fun to play around with different colors of string because different colors represent different things to people, and if you're making a gift for people, you can use their favorite color. After you make your bundle and you tie it off, you can clean it up with some scissors and then let it dry, and then later you can light it and it will produce smoke, and you can wave it around and you can make yourself smell or feel good, or friends smell or feel good, or your house smell or feel good. Now, another thing about harvesting wild plants is that we want to use everything that we took. So I'll take this branch home with me, and a couple of other things that we can do with all the leftovers after we've made our bundles are, one, we can make tea. So you just heat up water, put some leaves and some stems in it too, and it makes a delicious tea. You can add a little maple syrup or honey. Another great thing to do with it is we can steam with it. So this is something that's really good for your respiratory system. It might be a good idea to be doing these kinds of things now, where you heat up a large pot of water. You put the cedar in it, You might let it boil for a minute or two, and then you cover your head with a towel and you create a little tent